So this is the 60th anniversary G.I. Joe Classified Series Action Sailor or Recon Diver. So great concept, but with regards to execution in action figure form, there are still some aspects of this action figure that could be improved. And actually, it really shows the ill knowledge of the designer with regards to the actual kit or the gear that is being used. For example, for this figure, you have a small rebreather and a big rebreather. But the figure, the main mask is attached to the small rebreather. So it just doesn't make sense. Plus, that small rebreather, if you're going to peg it in, it's going to lack the head unit. So, and it's also not fun to play with, as when you try to hold it or put it into action figure poses, or you move sections of the action figure, parts are going to fall off or somehow just doesn't look really good. Okay, so I was able to manage to put a majority of the accessories on the action figure for that action figure pose, diving action figure pose with this primary thing. Actually, this really sold me to buying this action figure set. But yeah, as I have mentioned, this is lacking the head unit. This too is somehow a pain in the butt with regards to articulation. It shouldn't be placed in this section. And well, the weapon, that's a 308 battle rifle. It just doesn't have a much barrel length. So yeah, if you're going to think realistically, this just doesn't make sense. Okay, so for this video, we're going to try to make this action figure as bearable as possible. Okay, so from being dependent on that small rebreather, we're going to do changes, plus possibly on these sections too, and on these sections on the back. So these turbo fins are not G.I. Joe Classified Series turbo fins. So the ones that actually belong to the action figure, I already transferred it to a different Kitbash, my Navy SEAL Halo UDT jumper. Okay, so this does not need a soft rubbery fin. This needs a really nice sturdy fin for action figure poses. So that's why I chose to use this gridiron stuff with this action figure. So yeah, let's get on with the build. So we already have the final form of our Recon diver. So just a sneak peek of the changes that I did, including the most noticeable is going to be on this part. Okay, so this used to be connected to the face mask. So we have the compressor, a different compressor, and actually that compressor, you could easily yank it off from the face mask because it's just lightly glued, or well, depends on the action figure set that you're going to purchase, because mine was just lightly glued. So when I just tugged it a little bit, it disengaged. Okay, so that's going to be two separate pieces right now. So that's going to be a standby rebreather. The main rebreather is going to be the one that is mounted on the back of the action figure. That is a rebreather. That is a standby rebreather. Okay, so in place of the air hoses, so we just used a headband, rubber headband. So something that you could buy Walmart, Target, or Ross, or wherever. Okay, so 50 to 100 pieces, and you just snip the length that is bearable for the articulation point of the action figure. So actually, the face mask, that compensator belongs to this joint tray for a Gundam model kit. So any excess that I have, I would always keep for kit bashes like this. Okay, so face mask, and we also improved the articulation point of the neck, which I'm going to show later on, but just a peek as to how the neck now is, or that head unit is free to move. Okay, so I just widened the hole so I could insert the headband. I also drilled a hole on that Gundam joint connector, so it's going to be free in place, so it's not going to detach. Okay, so this motion is now much more improved. This is a separate piece, and gun is the really long or elongated flash suppressor or sound suppressor for the pistol. So that is now a magazine holder for the primary weapon. So we have two mags up front, and we have a molded in knife. So this is also just junk that I have in my accessories bin, so for kit bashes like this, so we could use that. So with this magazine holder for the secondary firearm, so we also changed the holder. So this figure used to have a pistol holster on this section, so we cut it off and replaced it with a different holster. This time it's going to be a thigh mounted one. Okay, so very simple fix for this thing. Just need to glue the two pieces actually, because this and this could be disengaged. It's just a hassle to have two separate pieces, so just a little bit of super glue, and then it's nice and tight and secure. And we just painted this portion, or the navigating device, for the dive jet. Okay, so you have your sonar, and that's going to be the underwater GPS. Okay, so let's take this out. Let's pull this out. And as for the primary weapon, or the rifle, we have a flash suppressor and at least a more extended barrel. So that is something that I cut off and just snipped a little bit, so it's going to fit the hole or the existing barrel for this Recon diver weapon. Okay, so I took it out from this. I have a lot of this, so I'm just free to cut off or use any part that I could use from this weapon system. So that's it for that. Okay, and we have that's still the same pistol that the Recon diver has, but just a different holster, a thigh mounted one, and I want it black. And we cut off the excess or the extended mag. It's unsightly anyway, so yeah, better just that way. So once again, just a quick peek at the chest mounted system. or the items mounted on the chest, I mean. I have to grammatically correct myself. Okay, so gun is the number sign on this second rebreather, and it is glued on to the front of the vest. Okay, now with this I just took out my drill and I cut those extra hoses off, and then I drilled through the rebreather so I could just insert the length of the hose, lower it down, so I could actually still pull it up and have it tucked in on this section. So actually we have a primary and secondary combined that way. So just pull this section up. So if you have the Grid Iron Studios rebreather from their diver set, then you know that you have then you are familiar that it has that pull up function for the hoses. So I just copied that feature, very easily done with GI Joe Classified series because the plastic is soft. Okay, so let's take out the head unit. Okay, so how did I improve the articulation point for the head? So with an X-Acto knife, just a little bit of cut on that section. So I'm just going to paint that later on. I did not paint it when I filmed this video, so you guys could take note of how deep a cut you should make, or the angle. Okay, so with the head on, actually I'm using this head unit. I would have wanted this one, but I discovered that one eye is looking up, the other eye is looking at a different direction. Okay, anyway, so yeah, but this has a equal stare, so both eyes are staring in one direction. I mean, yeah, I have to grammatically correct myself again. Okay, so there you go. So for those of you who are looking for a knife, so there's in the molded knife, magazines for the primary weapon, magazine for the primary weapon, and holster. So with these sections free, so actually it's not locked into place, so you have that articulation point, so much more improved this time. Okay, and with that head, so yep, very nice, just a little bit of simple cut. Actually it really does not show on the back section too, unless of course you're going to look for it, or you're going to really expose it. Yeah, but just normal wear with the action figure with all of its accessories, especially the floater. Actually this action figure has two flotation devices. This actually already is a flotation device vest, so redundant. So as you can see, that hose, that's part of the flotation device, which this actually too has. So yeah, I really don't know what the designer is thinking of, when maybe he just said, okay, it's cool, so let's put it on. Okay, cool, let's put it on. But as to the actual function or use of the accessories, it hasn't been researched really well. Anyway, so but with this on, still makes the action figure aesthetically cool. So well, it's already there, so let's at least make use of it. Okay, so the reason why I also lowered or drilled the hole through the rebreather, so I could lower down the hose and it's going to sit at this angle on the vest, because I wanted to make this as secure as possible when I have it on the action figure. because the original design, it's going to just flippity flop everywhere, and this is on a you have a hole on the vest wherein you connect that, but whenever you try to handle the action figure, it's going to detach and fall, and this is going to be really unsecure. But this time, so I found a way to somehow make it secure on the action figure once it's on it, because of this. Yeah, so that rebreather, I have a very simple, or I made a very simple mounting solution wherein I could still take it out and put it up. There's a micro peg and hole on that connection point. Okay, so I could still pull it up if I wish to and connect it to the primary compressor. Okay, but for just to make this thing secure, so as you could see, no flippity flop, flippity flop. There you go. So we're ready to reassemble the figure. So put that head back in. Okay, are we nice enough? Yeah, okay, so it's nice and secure. Okay, so and let's take the backpack, and first the spear. So the spear, you have those hooks. I just want to do that, and then we're going to mount this to the back of the action figure. Okay, that way. Okay, so as you could see, so this section now rides on top of the main rebreather, so covering any gaps or holes. So when you have your action figure post in a diving post this way, on an action figure stand, and you try to rotate it, there's no you won't see gapping spaces. Okay, and just do this. Yep, there you go. And that head is really nice and free, and this thing doesn't play around. You have a secondary weapon that is nice and secure on the thigh. This section is nice and clean, really looks tactical. And where's the primary weapon? Okay, and the primary weapon secures as designed on the back. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so the action figure stand that I am using for this Recon diver, that comes from McFarlane DC Multiverse. Yep. So we also have a lot of that. So instead of purchasing different stands, let's just make use of whatever we have on hand. Even the accessories that I also used came from my junk bin or spare accessories bin, because we also have a lot too. So instead of repurchasing a different dive set, we just configured the existing dive set, made use of organic parts. And of course, I also did a little bit, or actually it's not a bit, but a lot of research with regards to scuba equipment or diving equipment, so I could understand the thing that I want to achieve, or the design that I want to achieve for this action figure. So it's not going to be a sloppy design. It's going to look good. It's going to look realistic. And when I share this recipe and you guys would try to make it on your action figure, you know that it's going to be something that is really worth your time doing. It's not just for the looks, it's also for the practicality and the realism. So even if it's 1:12 scale, your G.I. Joe Classified series feels like a 1:6 scale Hot Toys action figure. That's it. So that's the purpose of the things that I design or do. So you guys would always have the best. So if you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe to help me grow my channel. And see you on the next action figure or custom action figure review.